right?
Okay.
No? I mean,
Well,
if
no,
you say Connor, you know McGregor.
not necessarily. If you
Name
go
another
out in the
Connor.
public on Knockout Radio, sure. If you just say Connor, you're going to think Conor McGregor. But
What about
in,
Brad? What if
there he is.
I'm her.
There we go. Let's welcome back
What
to
up,
the
guys?
program. It's been a while, Brad Tavares. What's up, buddy?
What's up? Can you guys hear me okay? I'm in my truck. I just finished training. I got to head to some medicals. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me.
We can hear you fine. We're just there. We go.
All
Just
right.
training go well. Everything good. Everything fun.
Awesome. Everything awesome. Just finished a killer. Thank you, bro.
Yep.
Just finished a killer strength and conditioning workout. See you later, brother.
hit
Yep.
him with the train horn? Hit him with that train horn.
He
Get
already,
him.
I hit him with it way too much. Like he's numb to it already.
Let me ask you this. Normally, your next fight is the most important fight. No matter what, no matter what's happened in the past. But this
Yep.
fight could mean even more. Legacy, generations down. This is a big fight. Do you need to block
Yep,
that
it is.
out?
You know what? Honestly, so again, it might sound kind of cliche. You know, you hear fighters, including myself, say it all the time. The next fight is always the biggest fight, but it really is. It really, like, that's how you approach it. Because I tell you what, like, I am not thinking about past this fight. You know, I need to get past this. I need to get past this dude first. And once we get past that, then I can soak in everything else. I can soak in the records and the accolades and all of that. But at the end of the day, like, you're in there with another grown man that has trained all these weeks to beat your butt. You know, he wants to go out there, he wants to hurt you. So it's nothing to take lightly. I cannot look past him no matter who he was and no matter what's on the line. Because at the end of the day, I'm locked in a cage with another guy that's trying to take my head off. So the next fight is always the biggest fight.
For those people that don't know, Brad right now is tied for the most victories in the division with Michael Bisping. One more victory, moves on, and now sets the record. And that's legacy. Having any kind of record, but a record like this is legacy stuff.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's nothing. What is crazy is it's not something that I ever even like really thought of. You know, like getting into this career and getting into the UFC. And even when I started getting close to it, it was something that I wasn't even really aware of. It was something kind of brought up by the media, like, hey, you know, like, you're on the cusp of this. And then even my last fight, when I did tie the record, it wasn't something that was on my mind. But as soon as Bisping like got in the cage and started talking to me, I knew where he was going with it. And then, you know, it kind of sank in. And honestly, it was really cool, you know, to have him be the one interviewing me after tying him for the record. So, yeah, you know, it's all things that I'll be able to look back on and just cherish, you know, in my life.
So, Brad, I know you're driving now, so don't look at the screen. But I'm going to upload a picture. It's your profile picture from Instagram, where representing the Hawaiian flag. And before you came on today, Randy and I talked about.
Yep.
I don't think there's another state that gets represented as much as Hawaii, especially in the fight game. So, talk about that. Why do so many of the Hawaiian fighters represent this flag over the American flag?
You know, it's nothing. So let me first start off by saying that I am a proud American. You know, I am a proud American. I love our country. I love our nation. Greatest country on the planet. But that being said, that, you know, we are from a small little island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And I think for us as people from Hawaii, as Hawaiians, to come from such a small place and make it to any stage, you know, Hawaii, it is paradise, but there's not a lot of opportunity there. You know, it's expensive. It's hard for us to like get to places, being that we gotta fly everywhere. We gotta import everything in. You definitely got it easier out here in the mainland when it comes to, like, say, like Little League baseball. If I wanted to go and compete in tournaments around the country, it's so much easier and more affordable for a family to rent a car or even hop in their car and drive from state to state, city to city, and do all these things. In Hawaii, no matter where you go, like even if you're going to a different island, you got to hop on a plane. That costs money. Hotels, it's expensive. So anyway, getting to like the next stage in anything is huge for us locals. And I think that just the fighting, the warrior spirit mentality, that is part of our culture. So when it comes to fighting, we really cherish that and we carry it with us. And we always just want to represent our home, our state, our land. And that's Hawaii, and that's what carrying that flag is, representing Hawaii, this little speck in the middle of the Pacific Ocean that we come from.
Well, you're on the map behind me. I'm going to put a thumbtack in your hometown to represent you. You'll be the first fighter from Hawaii that we put on the map, and I'm sure you won't be the
Let's
last.
go.
So, what city do you call home? What island or what city?
So I'm from the Big Island, and pretty much when like people don't know, like the little city I'm from is actually a little town called Volcano. It's right near the Kilauea Volcano National Park. And that's where I grew up on a mountain. It's actually cold there. But the big city that everybody knows is Hilo. So anytime anybody asks me, I just tell them Hilo because it's easier for them to know, like, oh, okay, Hilo, yeah. So, and that's also where I went to school and stuff. But the little city that I actually grew up in, that I lived in, is Volcano. So I'm from the Big Island, from Volcano or Hilo, either or, it doesn't matter. It's kind of the same.
What's it like, when you're talking about the flag and the use of it by you Hawaiians? So what's it like when you go home, when BJ went home, when Shane Victorino goes home, that made it as big as you guys have done?
It's really cool. Like it's really cool to be embraced by, the fellow locals. And I currently live in Vegas now. And if you guys never heard this, they call Vegas the 9th island. Hawaii has 8 major islands in the island chain, and they call Vegas the 9th island because there are so many Hawaiians and Hawaii locals here now in Vegas. Again, because it's so much more affordable to be here. But it's just, I don't know. It's hard to put it. You gotta like be from Hawaii, and you understand it. You know what I mean? But when I go home and just being embraced by everybody there, like it honestly warms my heart. I really appreciate it. I am grateful for it. I do not overlook it. I don't just think like, cool, whatever. It is important to me, and I really value it.
Before I ask you about your upcoming fight in a couple weeks in Paris, give me your thoughts, your take on the title fight over the weekend.
Honestly, it was one of those fights that I was very interested in because I had no idea what to expect. Dricus is one of those guys that, hey man, I'm tired of betting against the dude. Every time he goes into a fight and I think this is the way it's gonna go, no, he comes out and puts somebody away and I'm like, bro, I'm done betting against this dude, But that being said, Khamzat is man, he's a freak, and look at what he did. So I initially thought that if Khamzat finished him in the first 3 rounds, it would be his fight. But I thought past that if it got to the 4th and 5th, the championship rounds, that Dricus would find a way to get the win. But that wasn't the case. It went all 5 rounds. Khamzat completely dominated him. And now I sit back and look and I'm like, what's next for Khamzat? Who's next?
Who do you think, could go in there and compete with that? And I also want to ask you about, the casual fan. It was a boring fight, which I didn't necessarily think it was. And putting all the blame on your new champion, it's Dricus's job to get out of the crucifix, not, the fighter putting you in the crucifix.
Yes. So that's the thing. Me as a fighter, I did not think that was a boring fight at all. Having actually fought Dricus and knowing what he's capable of and how good of a fighter he is, for Khamzat to do that to him was downright impressive to me. I was impressed. So I I didn't think the fight was boring. But however, I do know a lot of people that thought that was such a boring fight. Like every other person I spoke to was like, "Oh, that fight was trash. That fight was boring. I hope that not every fight now is gonna look that way." Blah blah blah. And I get it, you know. Like at the end of the day, we are fighters, but this is the entertainment business. People want to see a good, fun, entertaining fight. So I understand the frustration, but I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm going to bring up a name from the past, my good buddy George Gagel.
Okay.
412-degree black belt, but he would always tell me,
Yeah.
I don't want to win on the ground. I want to beat my opponent at his best. And then he would tell me after the fight, hey, I did my best and I couldn't win. I'm like, George, you got to do what's best for you to win. And that's what happened Saturday. You know, he did.
You know what? No, you know what is so funny about that is that while we were watching that fight, I got a group text with some of my best friends, and we always go back and forth. Some of them are still in Hawaii, and so we're watching the fights, but we're not actually together. But we're just chiming in and giving our 2 cents, our opinion, and we went back talking about it. And I said to them, I said, I bet you Sean Strickland is watching this right now and thinking to himself, man, I should have wrestled Dreykus, because we always preach to Sean. Sean, you're such a good wrestler. You have such good ground. Wrestle, please wrestle. Does he ever do that? No. You see him out there, oh, I'm going to do the man dance. Yesterday or 2 days ago, we're talking, and he tells me, yeah, I was watching that fight, and I thought to myself, man, I probably should have wrestled Dreykus. I just started losing it. I was like, bro, I was laughing so hard. I said, bro, let me show you the text. I texted my boys that. I said, Sean is watching this right now thinking that he should have done that. And, you know, as a fighter, there's a lot of things that you probably think, oh, I could, blah, blah, blah. And people tell you this, but when you get in there, something else takes over, and it doesn't always go that way.
I didn't know if Matt had anything. All right, so now let's talk about Paris. It's a work trip. It's not a vacation. But will you be able to do anything? Do you go early? Are you going to stay late? Are you going to enjoy that you're going to Paris?
So I'm excited to go. As far as I've never been there, it's cool to, you know, experience new things, be in different countries and whatnot. It's not like I'm going to get to like fully enjoy everything as I'm there. Again, like you guys said, for work, I'm going to be cutting weight. I got to watch what I eat and drink and all of those things. But when it comes to fighting, like I'm not one of those guys that is like I like to lock in. I'm cool with staying in my room, hanging out, just chilling with the boys, working out. And I don't care if we go sightseeing or not. Initially, I wanted my family to come out after the fight, but my wife has some work things coming up that, you know, is going to prevent us from doing that. And then on top of that, my girls are back in school. So, you know, we don't want them to miss too much schooling. So this trip, they're not going to make it out there. It's just going to be a strictly work trip, in and out. I'm going to go out there a little early, nothing crazy. You know, they're not too far ahead of us. I've fought on that time zone before. But, yeah, as soon as the fight is over, I'm just trying to get back home to my family.
And then you can use the bonus from the win to then bring the whole family out at a later time.
Yeah, you know what? And when we do it, we'll do it up. I'll wait till, you know, my girls are out of school for whatever, spring break, winter break, whatever it is, and we'll make a full trip of it, you know, hit up France, Italy, really do it up.
How old are your girls?
I got a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. So my 7-year-old is in 2nd grade, and my 3-year-old is she's in preschool.
So does the 7-year-old grasp what dad does?
She does. They watch it on TV. They cheer, you know, and hopefully it's going good for me, and it goes good for them if that's the case. But yeah, they grasp it. My 7-year-old, in fact, both of them do jiu-jitsu, but my 7-year-old, she actually competes. She does jiu-jitsu. She wrestles a little bit. So she pretty much understands what it is. They're at the gym every single day with me, so they know what's up.
You probably haven't thought this out yet, but when
Yep.
your girls get older, when they're in high school, when they're in college, they
Yep.
won't get dates, which is awesome. When the fraternity learned that my daughter, has trained a little bit and knows so many fighters,
Yep.
she couldn't get a date to save her life, and it was the best thing I ever heard. Was that's great, that's great,
Hey, agreed.
whatever it
Hey,
takes.
I have thought about it. Like that's a reality. That's life. Like your babies ain't gonna be your babies forever. You gotta enjoy the time while they're young because, man, it happens fast. Like it felt like yesterday we were just giving birth to my 7-year-old and she's gonna be 8 soon. So I definitely know the feeling. And I know that it goes fast, but I also know that that's life, that they'll grow up. So honestly, what I hope is that me as a father and as a man am showing them what a father, a husband, and a man should look like, So that helps guide their choices when they get older to make those decisions. But hey, if people hear who her dad is and she, they don't want to date her because of that, then oh well, they ain't cut out for it.
Exactly. Yeah, then it worked out well. Give me your thoughts
Yep.
on the opponent.
I never overlook anybody. He's not been in the UFC long, coming off a loss. But hey, I always say that when people come off of losses,
They're
that
dangerous.
makes them even hungrier. They want to get that taste of defeat out of their mouth, and they're gonna try and do it at your expense. From the looks of him, good striker, more of a boxer, and I think he might have like a black belt or something, but I've not seen him use his ground and wrestling all that much, so I'm not quite sure, what to expect there. But again, I train and prepare for everything and anything under the sun, so I definitely respect the guy, but again, I really fully believe in my skills, my talents, my abilities, and I have no doubt that I'm about to break this record.
A good friend of mine, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer first-round draft pick, also fought in the UFC, was on the Ultimate Fighter, Marcus Jones. He once told me he was the number one draft pick of the Bucs, and he said, "I'm not a fan of football. I don't like football. I'm just good at it." So are you a fan of MMA, the sport, that is your life, or are you just good at it?
I would say both because granted, I've been around the game so long, it doesn't excite me as far as like back in the day. And granted too, there's fights like every week now. So it's not as how it used to be. When I was growing up, there was like one fight every couple of months. So it was a whole big thing to like get the guys together. Let's get the pay-per-view. Let's order some food. Let's barbecue. Let's make a whole big thing about it. And it's not like that now. Now it's on every week, so it's not the same. But don't get me wrong, I do get excited for certain fights, for certain cards, and this past weekend was one of them. The main event in particular, I really, really was curious to see how that would play out, and it did surprise me. And people might have thought it was boring, but I enjoyed it. The fight fan in me enjoyed it, and I think if you are a true fight fan, hardcore fight fan, you can really be wowed at what Kamzat did to a guy like Dreykus. So yeah, I would say I am a fan. And it's funny that you say that about those guys because the Raiders, right? We just hired John Spytek, who came from Tampa Bay. And one of their things was over there, I think is it Jason Light? Who's the GM of the Bucks? Is it Jason Light?
Yeah, Jason Light.
Yeah. So Jason Light, John Spytek, one of their things is that, hey, we want football guys. We don't care if you're good at football. We want guys who are in love with football. So it's funny that they drafted Marcus Jones or whatever, who said he doesn't love football. He's just good at it.
So are you a Raider fan?
Oh, I'm a diehard Raider fan, born and bred. And just so happens they're in Vegas and I'm in Vegas. So it was a match made in heaven.
Well, it just so happens when I come out for what's the UFC number that I'm going to, Matt? 321 or something? Whatever the one
is that
that's coming.
December?
No, the one in October.
Oh, October. Is that? Wait, who
It's
is
the two
that?
title fights. It's the two title fights. The 6th, the 5th. It's the 5th or 6th of October.
Who's the main event though? Is that Ilya and Justin?
No, I don't think so. I don't even know who. What'd you say, Matt?
I think.
I don't think it's Ilya.
You said it's October. Is it Oliveira versus? Is that
No.
October 11th?
No, it's
Well,
the
that's in
week
Brazil.
before. It's the week
Okay.
before.
Ankalawa versus Pereira too.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
October 4th,
So
320. UFC 320.
I'll be out there that whole week, and you tell me when you have time, preferably the Tuesday, because that's the NFL off day. One of my closest friends,
Yep.
Alex Kappa, now plays for the Raiders.
Yeah.
So-
Kappa. Yeah.
So I want to
Where did he come
introduce you
from?
to
The Bengals, right?
well, the
or
Bengals, and he was
was he-
with Tampa first. He was with Tampa, then went
Yeah,
to
he
the
was in
Bengals.
Tampa first.
Right.
Yep.
So I got him huge. He's a huge UFC fan. He wants to do some training, and maybe I can hook the two of you guys up, and you can get the football guy, and the football can get the UFC guy.
Hey, anytime, and it doesn't even have to. I know they're in like getting ramped up for the season, but it doesn't even have to be then. Put us in touch. If he wants to come by and get some cross training in to help out, he's more than welcome. We'd love to have him.
I will definitely set it up. Brad, as always, thank you for your time. I enjoyed having you on. I don't know if I've already sent these to your girls. Have I sent them the dragons, the 3D dragons?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to get your address later. One of my sponsors is called Fantasy Pets. They're 3D dragons. They're really super cool, and I'm going to send each one of them one of these dragons for you coming on and chatting with us.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. They'll be stoked.
We will talk soon.
And Brad,
Yes.
Volcano, Hawaii is now on the map.
Yep.
So representing the Big Island.
Let's go, V-Town 96785.
Yes,
There you
sir.
go. Brad, thanks for talking to us while you're driving.
No problem, man. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, that I had such a busy day and I'm driving.
It's all good.
But I appreciate you guys having me on.
We love having you on as well. That is Brad Tavares. Fights in a couple weeks in Paris. What a good dude. And now I'm going to hook him up with Alex, and that's going to be cool as well.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we went over just a little bit, not on the FCC portion, but on the stream on YouTube. My daughter's last